Hello and welcome to Bobeats and another live stream here with the Digitakt. So I hope you guys are ready for some Digitakt music, some questions and answers if you have any, and just having a good time together here this morning or night or afternoon, I guess, depending on where you are. So perhaps you can just give a shout out in the chat where you are from, so I know and what time it is where you are at, because it's always fun to see who is here at what time and what time it is where you are. So today's live stream will be some Digitakt music, some questions and answers, and I'll try to do some stuff live as well, try to make some music live. And I really enjoy live streaming for you guys. I really enjoy being here, having the possibility to interact, and I always try to answer questions as we go. So if you have questions and you don't get an answer, just repost the question. So I think I'll start out with playing you a tune that I made on the Digitakt. I actually featured it in my latest live stream, and yeah, I actually featured it in my latest live stream, and it was kind of a crazy dark beat that I made, and I actually built upon this beat and turned it into something quite different. It's still a bit dark, but I think you guys will enjoy it. So I just want to say hello to everybody. Hello Han Live, Big Dap, good seeing you. I love saying your name, Big Dap. Jason, Ellie, hello. Dan Preston, always good seeing you guys. Rafi Pad, thank you for the last live stream. Rafi helping me out with the triplets. Now I know how to do the triplets technically. I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. I just knew it sounded good, but yeah, it was triplets. Magnus Block, hello, good morning. Spiros, good morning. Mash, what's up? Good seeing so many people here. Joe Rydell, or Riedel, good seeing you here. So you have to bear with me with all the names. You know, it's not always easy to get it get it correct. With all the funny nicknames and cultural differences in names. So I'll start off playing you this beat, and usually what I do is I try to turn down the volume of my mic so you don't hear my breathing, because I'm a mouth breather. So I will turn down the mic and get back to you after playing you this tune. Alright, so that was a little Digitakt tune that I made. I started out last live stream showcasing sort of the starting beat, this beat here. Oh, sorry, this beat here. So I showcased this on the last live stream, and then I just went to town, built on it, and I'm still using kind of the same sounds that I'm using from the same sounds that I've been using for a lot of different projects, and this is what goes into my kind of workflow with the Digitakt, and I think a workflow that works for me on many different synthesizers and samplers, that I just try to make a couple of really cool sounds, and then I reuse them over different projects or different patterns, just trying them out, getting a different feel for them. And something happens when you do that. You can see here I have bank 9, if you check patterns here, lots of patterns. Bank 10, lots of patterns. Bank 11, lots of patterns. Bank 12, a couple of patterns as well. I think even going into one pattern on bank 13. So I've made a lot, and I basically use kind of the same sounds or same samples for that. So I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat. Fusion, good seeing you, James. Big Dap, Magnus as well. Hank Major says hello from Ireland. Hello back to you. Last live stream I think we had, or if it was it was in one of my previous videos. Somebody actually pointed out that one of my tunes sounded a bit Irish. I'm not really sure what that means, but I guess perhaps they said Celtic or something like that. So perhaps Celtic isn't really connected to Ireland. I don't know. I'm a Swede. I just know my Vikings. So good seeing you guys. Matthias, good seeing you here as well. Let's see if there's somebody else I haven't said hello to. It seems like pretty much everyone. So good having you here, guys. This is a live stream with the Digitakt. I usually do live streams not only to showcase a certain piece of gear, but rather to connect with you people, and to talk about a certain piece of gear, or to experiment with it, or just to show you creative ways to make music. So what I was thinking was I wanted to show you just a couple of more patterns that I've been working on this little device here. It's not a lot of these patterns aren't finished tunes, but it's something to show you how you can be creative with this device. So yeah. Hank Major says that my tune perhaps had some pipe type sounds in it. That's probably where they got it from, the kind of Celtic or Irish influences. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was the melody of that tune. I think the song that people called Celtic or Irish was the song called Evolving Soundscapes on my YouTube page, and I think it has a kind of a Celtic vibe, perhaps, to the melodies or something like that. So be sure, guys, to let me know if you have any questions. Hello, Linus. Good seeing you here as well. Good seeing so many familiar faces. So I was actually thinking that I'd try to do live streams more often as well. And of course, if I do them more often, I can't always have a very structured content. So today is more questions and answers, showing you some music, and perhaps making something on the fly as well. So that's kind of the plan. So I'll just show you a couple more patterns here that I've been working on, just to give you an idea of where I'm at with the Digitakt. we had some patterns that I've been working on. The first was kind of lo-fi hip-hop-ish oriental type thing. Sounded like this. So that was the first beat, and then we had the second beat, something, I don't know what to call it, but you guys can probably come up with a better idea for a genre than I can. Yeah, some kind of beat, and all the patterns in this project I'm working on here in the Digitakt, they are all the same tempo. It's just I just set it to 102 BPM, and you can of course have individual tempos for the different patterns in here, but sometimes I just like to set it to a tempo that I enjoy. I enjoy working like in 100 to 110 BPM. That's sort of my sweet spot. I can go lower, but I often get into too much of a hip hop territory if I go lower than like 100. And while I did hip hop beats, I actually rapped back in like 10 years ago. I don't feel connected to that anymore. So I usually try and stay somewhere between 100 and 110. And because previously I did music in like 130, 140 BPM back in the Eurodance days and the trance days. And I really don't feel connected to that tempo anymore. So I usually stay in that range nowadays, just not to go all over the place. So let's check out some questions, shall we? Yeah. So Fusion says, Bo the rapper. Yeah. Actually, guys, you want me to rap? I can do some rapping, live here for you guys. Do some, throw down some ill bars or an ill verse or whatever. No, I'm just kidding. I won't expose you to that. So James Payne asks, if I am a vegan or a vegan? No, I'm not a vegan. I've been straight edge previously in my life. I've always had this notion that I should probably try and be vegetarian. Vegan is probably taking it a bit too far for me. I don't think I will ever go that route. But I just have a hard time putting those, restraining myself in that way and changing my routines and everything. It's just not something that I've had an easy time doing. But we do try and eat vegetarian a couple times a week. Not always successful, but we try, So let's see here. Let's see other questions here. So Doran D asks, when you bring your samples in, are they all on the same root note? Use a tuner. Yeah. So what I usually do when I bring samples in, for example, let me see if I can show you here. Let's go into the sample menu here. I can just show you some of the stuff I sampled into it. Let's scroll down here and we can see here. I have a couple of Mother 32 sounds. These are all one-shot samples that I sampled in the key in C basically. I prefer to use C because it's the root note of the chromatic mode you have here. So C is here. So it's a basic keyboard layout or piano layout. So that is something that I enjoy doing, putting them to C. But then of course, when you have shorter samples, when you start to cut down on these samples, you get the problem that they become a different tune. And usually I go by ear when I tune them. So I go into source here and use the tuning knob here to tune them. So usually I go by ear, but of course at times I use a tuner. I don't have it laying around here, it's downstairs somewhere, but I do use a tuner for those times when it's a bit tricky. Some sounds can be a bit harder to tune, but usually I go by ear. So let's see here. Jake Glacier, good seeing you. You are going to bed, so have a very nice evening. Good having you for this time. Let's see here. Mash asks if the sounds I was using are melodic lines, melodic line loops, or if I sequenced them myself. So usually I don't use loops on the Digitakt. I usually play. I can see if I can show you here. So on the tune you heard me playing, I had this. This is of course kind of a loop playing, but it's just a short snippet of it. Then I had a kick, a bass, clap, and my flute. Yeah, and my flute sound, which is a loop, but I just use it as a one shot. So I take a loop and I cut out a one shot from it. And hi-hat, and then we have piano. And hi-hat. And I think if we go here to this one, I have a synth sound. This here. Yeah. So those are all one shots, and I usually just build my sound around my own melodies, not using loops. That's how I like to do it. So let's see, what other questions do we have? So James says that if I were a vegan, instead of Bobeats, it would be Bo No Meats. Kind of funny. Linus says you should be a vegetarian. I don't know how we ended up on this food thing here. I guess it's the Bobeats thing. Big Dap asks, is music my therapy? So yeah, I think you could say it is. It's also work for me, since I do this now part-time. I do YouTube for if you're a new viewer here, I do YouTube part-time, about 50% of my time, and then I do part-time work at my university teaching, and I do some research as well, and I also have a private company doing clinical work in psychotherapy. So yeah, of course, music is kind of a therapy for me. Sitting down, just after a long day, just working something out on my new favorite piece of gear is very good for my stress levels. But at the same time, it's work, because I do want to put out good content for you people. So you people, that sounds wrong. You guys. Yeah, you guys sounds better. For you guys, I want to put out good content, and yeah, so therefore it's both therapy and work, depending on what I'm working on. So Raffipad asks, did you update to OS 1.02? Yeah, I've updated to the new OS, and we'll be taking a look at some of the new features here. Most of the new OS is just bug fixes, and so far it seems like they've made a good job fixing the bugs. I won't be covering the OS in a specific video, because it's not that interesting, but I'll try to show you some of the things in another video where I interconnect the Digitakt with a lot of other gear as well. So Linus asks, what's your opinion on the built-in filter in the Digitakt? Yeah, I think the filter sounds good. I think I am a little bit more used to filters like the Moog Sub 37 filter, for example, that has, it's a very, I don't know if I dare say creamy filter. It's a very different filter from something like a Digitakt or the Elektron products in general. It just have a very different sound to it being analog, but it's not just that. It's just a very different kind of filter, the feel of it. So I don't get that wow feeling when I use the filter on the Digitakt, but it sounds good. It's clean, works well. So Linus says I should collab with Bobeats. Yeah, we should do some kind of eat a synthesizer contest with Bobeats. D McG says, love to watch you, but haven't had my coffee yet. Save it for me will ya. Yeah, I have had my first cup of coffee, but I'm still waiting for my second cup later today. I'm actually waiting for a package as well from Thomann in Germany, the big music store. They are sending my patch bass and some other, utility stuff. That I think that is where I'm putting my money at the moment. Utility stuff, just making the workflow smoother in the studio, and there'll be a video updating my studio progress, updating you on my studio progress as well. So if the door rings, I'll have to run down and open. So James asks, or Fusion asks, do you like your Digitakt more than your Octatrack? Well, yeah, I do. That's the straight answer. I like the Digitakt more, but not for any technical reason. I can't really reduce it to any specific technical detail. It's just that I have more fun with it. I suppose it's, I'm not the kind of guy who likes sitting around waiting, and some of the things on Octatrack do take a lot of time. I think saving samples on Octatrack takes a little bit longer time. It's a little bit more cumbersome. This is more straightforward, a lot quicker to get started, and I really enjoy gear that is quick to get started with. But it could also be that I've not spent enough time with Octatrack, because Elektron gear, and this Fusion, because you have some Elektron gear as well. Often it's this barrier that this barrier you have to get through, and once you're through it, once you've learned enough about these pieces of gear, they become second nature, and you develop your own workflow, and that's what I like. That there's not one workflow. You can do a use it in multiple ways. Spiros asks, could you demo probability with external MIDI? I think I have demoed probability with external MIDI in my MIDI overview and tutorial video that is available on Bobeats here on YouTube. I think I did some demos of it, but I'll definitely do more demos with the probability and external MIDI. It's definitely something I want to do. Probably not on a live stream. It's a little cumbersome having everything set up on a live stream, but I think I will definitely do that. I have plans to do more like overview videos of how the sequencer works and so on, and just showing you the workflow. So it's coming. Romsets asks, is there drive on the filter? Yeah, there's drive on the filter. So you have the filter button here. The amp here. So it's not drive on the filter. It's drive on the amp. So you can overdrive the amp envelope or amplifier. I'm not sure if I'm saying this technically correct, but it's under amp. So I don't have the spreadsheet or the image here, but there's an image in the manual where you can see the actual signal path and where the overdrive actually hits. So let's go to a blank. Let's go and let's grab a sound, and I can show you how it sounds. So let's see here. So here's a vocal sample. We're turning up the overdrive. It's not a big, it doesn't have a big effect on the sound. It does add a little bit of a crunchiness to the sound, but it's not the same as like an analog overdrive for example on the Elektron analog drive. That impacts the sounds a lot more. But what I like to do is I like to turn up the overdrive a lot and then turn down the volume a little bit on the track, and it gives it a little bit of a crunchy feel. But it's not close to an analog distortion unit, that's for sure. So Big Dab says that he is planning to use his Digitakt with a make noise zero coast or no coast and Ableton Live. I think that's a splendid setup. I think something like the Make Noise O-Coast or the Mother 32 is a piece of gear, or pieces of gear, that really shines when you put them together with something like a Elektron, Digitakt or Octatrack, because you can resample, and they are mono, so you don't suffer the problems with having only mono samples on the Digitakt as well. Franco Wilson asks, is there any way to apply filtering to a mic input on real time? No, there's no. When you sample, so let's go into sample menu here. When you sample, you have the possibility to enable monitoring, but you can't apply effects or filters and so on to the incoming signal. And I don't foresee it ever being the case, because I think that the signal path doesn't work like that. At least from what I've seen, the signal path doesn't work in a way that lets you add reverb or filtering or so on. So it's basically just putting the audio through, but it's putting it through in stereo. So you can put a stereo source in here and use this as a little mini mixer without any actual mixing capabilities. Really, you can't affect the volume and so on. James says, or Fusion says, rhythm overdrive seems more powerful. Yeah, the rhythm overdrive does seem more powerful to me as well. I suppose it's because it's an analog overdrive, so it's a totally different type of overdrive. So Linus says, can you connect the Digitakt to the analog heat to turn into an Elektron Ultra God and make super crunchy drums? Yeah, you could definitely do that. I'm actually thinking of connecting the Digitakt to my analog drive, because I don't have the analog heat yet. Who knows? Elektron, come on. I'm actually thinking of connecting it to the analog drive and see what kind of crunchy drums I can come up with. The analog drive has a little bit more of a raw sound to it compared to the heat. The heat is more high end, but for a mono source, which this can actually be a fairly decent mono source, a mono drum machine, I think it'll sound very nice coming through the drive. Matthias Plattner asks, care to tell us what microphone audio setup you are using to record your voice here? Sorry if that has been asked before. Well, you see, most questions have been asked time and time again, but I'm a teacher, so, repetitive questions are how do you say it in English? It's just part of my everyday. So it's all good. So for this live stream, I'm using the camera here. Up here is a C920 from Logitech, or C920. It's the older model. I think there's a C922 now that is a bit better, but it's a 1080p camera. It's not superb. It doesn't have the best optics. Fun fact: it actually has the same optics as the Zoom Q8. The Zoom Q8 camera, the camcorder. And I'm using an IK Multimedia iRig HD microphone. It's actually something I got from IK Multimedia for review, so I'm testing it out now, and I'm super pleased with the sound of it. It's an inexpensive USB and Lightning and USB microphone, so it's very good for your smartphones as well as connecting to a computer. And I really enjoy having the microphone as a USB mic, so it's basically its own sound card, because the noise floor, is that the correct word? The internal noise of the mic is very low, and I don't have to put it through my sound card, so I have like a separate fader for it in my live streaming program. So that's what I'm using to live stream, and I use OBS to live stream as well. Linus asks, how practical do you consider the Digitakt being in a live setup? For an Elektron device, I think it's decently practical. I think that analog rhythm, the rhythm is over here, actually. Here's the rhythm. And the rhythm is a little bit more, it's a little bit more practical because the rhythm has more performance controls. And the Octatrack is of course even more practical because it has scenes and the fader and so on. So in terms of like direct control, the Digitakt is not the top of the line from Elektron. But you know, just thinking about how you can use it with the control all functions and you know the way you can change sounds on the fly. Yeah, I think it'll work really nicely. I'm actually thinking of doing live sets with only the Digitakt because, as you've seen my music, you know, it fits pretty nicely into the Digitakt. So I'm thinking of doing that. Joseph asks if there's any way to have a sexual interaction with the Digitakt. Well, I guess that depends on your size. Sleepy Dog asks, is the monitoring for main out and headphones out connected? Yes, they are connected. So the left and right and the headphones use the same master volume knob. They are connected. So if you change the volume here, you'll affect both the headphones and the left and right. Magnus Block says, it's super late here in Detroit, so I gotta go. Thanks for streaming and upload it later if possible. Thank you, Magnus, for you know, checking it out. I definitely will be uploading this live stream later. It seems you guys like it, and I enjoy sharing my content. So definitely. Master G asks, would you advise to buy Digitakt as the first drum machine and sequencer? Yeah, I suppose, yeah, it's definitely not a bad first sequencer or drum machine and sampler. So what you get is you get a MIDI sequencer, you get 8 audio channels that you can use for whatever, you can sample into it, even if it's mono, you know, you get a lot of functionality for the price. Some people have compared it to an Electribe 2 sampler, like a bigger version of the Electribe 2 sampler, and with more depth. While it's I mean, okay, let me say it like this. It's an accessible piece of Elektron gear, but Elektron gear does have its drawbacks in terms of in terms of the learning curve. For some people it will be super easy to learn, for other people it will take longer time. But here's the thing. And this is something the salesman actually told me when I first bought my first piece of Elektron gear. It was the analog keys, and he said, if you buy Elektron gear, you get a piece of kit that you can turn into your own and that you can grow with. You know, it's something to live with, and I think that is correct, because the things you can do with Elektron gear is slightly different from a lot of what you can do with other pieces of gear. Now, if it's for you and if you like it, I can't tell. You know, it's different tastes, different needs. But I think his statement, and he wasn't really a salesman. I think he was like a die-hard musician, really, who just happened to work in a music store. He wasn't really a good salesman, I wouldn't say. He was more like a very enthusiastic and knowledgeable person on musical equipment. And I think his statement holds very true, at least for me. The more I work with these pieces of gear, I find my own way to use them, and the depth is incredible. So you grow into it and you can really expand. And this is something, if I just compare it to my circuit here we have Barry, my circuit number 2. I have 2 circuits. The problem with circuits is not that they are in any way bad. They are very affordable, very good value for your money, but they are not that deep. So you will hit this kind of wall where there's, little left to explore, and that's what I like with Elektron gear. Joey O'Hagan says, live again. Yes, I'm live again, Joey. I really enjoy interacting with you guys. Some days it's hard to find the motivation to really, record a video. Sometimes I need a couple of days off just not recording myself. Well, that sounds wrong. I'm recording myself now, but not recording myself for a standard video. I need a couple of days to just find a good angle, find something I want to communicate to you, And then I think live streams are really nice in between my normal videos because it lets me communicate more directly. I think that's very, very interesting, a lot of fun. So somebody with a very a name that is very hard to pronounce asks, where does the Novation circuit fit in your workflow now that the Digitakt has arrived? It feels like a logical progression. Yeah, I think that going from a circuit to a Digitakt makes a lot of sense to a lot of people, especially beginners that want, more advanced pieces of hardware. Now, of course, you don't really need hardware. You could go the software route instead and save some money because hardware is ultimately a lot more expensive. But if you like hardware, I think that going from a circuit to a Digitakt, exchanging the circuit for a Digitakt makes sense to a lot of people. But in terms of my workflow, I haven't really figured out where I want to have the circuits at the moment. I've been working so much with circuits. You can see it. I guess have I done 100 videos on the circuits? I'm not sure. If you don't know what we are talking about the Novation circuit. And I think I've done like 100 videos on those or something close to that. Especially if you include all the videos I've done on Facebook and Instagram and so on. So I wouldn't say I'm burned out on the circuit, but I'm definitely more interested in the Digitakt. And that's of course just the novelty of things. When something is new, it's a lot interesting. But it also has to, if you hear my music, a lot of people said like, wow, your music sounds a lot better when you were using the Digitakt than my circuit music. And yeah, I agree. My music sounds better with the Digitakt because it fits the type of music I want to make a lot better. Because the Digitakt is less sample based. The circuit is less sample based, so the Digitakt does work a little bit better with my workflow. Let's see here, what other questions? So Fusion asks, does this mean you will be selling your circuits? No, definitely not. I think I would disappoint some of you guys if I sold them, and I also want to continue working with them because they are very interesting. And I'm interested in a new circuit mono station. Now, if I will cover the circuit mono station depends a little bit on Novation at this point in time, because I do need a little bit of support from them if I'm going to cover it more in depth. And we're talking, but nothing is final yet. Because at this point, I can't really devote my time to every piece of gear that I want to try out and cover for you guys, because there's just not enough time to do that. Sleepy Dog, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much, Sleepy. You're the first person who has used the donation feature here on YouTube ever. So Sleepy Dog, I will remember this day. Thank you so much for that €2 20 SEK $2 donation, depending on where you're from. Thank you so much. I think it's the super chat function you were using. Oh, Linus, thank you so much for the €2. Thank you so much, Linus. You're number 2. Thank you. So Joey Hagen says, get us a beat going. Yeah, I think you're right. We need to have some music. I've been talking for quite some time. Let's see. I wonder if I have something fun to show you. That I haven't shown you guys already. Let me just listen here. I've shown this. I've shown you this. Okay. So in as a little thank you for Linus and Sleepy Dog's very very nice donations, I'll start by playing you the craziest thing I've done so far on the Digitakt. You've heard it before, but we can play it again, and afterwards I think I'll try and do something from scratch on it. as I told you, super crazy stuff. All right, so let's see here. Let's check out what are the new functions or new additions with the 1.02 mouthful update. Basically, the new things they've added are a new graph for the delay. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a new graph or graphic for the delay. High pass and low pass, and there's a new graphics for the high pass and low pass filter on the reverb, as well as the shelving frequency. So they're basically that. And then you have the metronome as well. The new metronome has a new layout, and it's a little bit strange. It's a little bit strange because usually you press yes in order to enable the metronome. But now when you press yes, nothing happens. You have to use the E knob here to activate the metronome. That is a little bit strange because it's not the same as in their other products. And I don't really know why they changed it. It doesn't really make a lot of sense if you're coming from their other products. Sorry. So let's see here. Let's see if we can find, let's go to a blank pattern and let's try and make something. Linus says, challenge, make a song out of a sample of you yelling ah. And Joe Hagen says, you reckon you could try and do an Aphex Twin style beat, something quite mad with a lot of probability, polyrhythms, etc. Probably could do something like that. I'm not sure if I can do it on the fly, with the added pressure of being live here. But okay, so Linus gave me a challenge. So give me just a second and I'll grab a microphone. I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. I'm just, Linus and Sleepy Dog made some donations, and of course we need to honor those donations. And let me just pull out a microphone. And I'll try and do something with a sample where I scream yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Where are lots of cables, but I got it. So I have my trusted Rode NT3A mic here, and let's see here if I can. Okay, I'm not making any promises that this will be any good. So I think we'll go into a new project here. Create a new project. Initialize new project. We'll rename the project to Sleepy Linus in honor of Linus and Sleepy Dog. So Sleepy Linus. There we go. And we'll load from that project as well. Not too loud now, says Joey. Yeah, I'll try to be a bit careful with the volumes now, okay? So let's see here. We are in a blank project. So basically, if you're new here, Linus and Sleepy Dog made some donations, and Linus gave me a challenge to try and do something with a yeah sample. Man, this will be cheesy. I can't do I can't yeah very well. So let's see here. Testing. Yeah, we got out audio input, and let's see here if we can record this. Yeah. And a little bit ironic. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. The cringe is on, guys. The cringe is on. So let's see here. Let's see where we can find something that sounds decent. Yeah. Oh, this sounds so hardcore. Yeah. Like I'm really trying. Yeah. This one is brilliant. Yeah. You can almost hear like a little piece of irony in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's use that one.
Yeah.
This will be so ridiculous. So let's call it yeah. And assign it.
Yeah.
And let's remove.
Yeah.
Start by making a kick, maybe. And Joe says I should do a big old death metal scream. It's part of my Swedish heritage. And I see a Mr. V here with a lot of cool guy faces, which fits really nicely with my
Yeah.
You mean, okay, Linus, so what you're saying, Linus, is that I should try and make a kick out of this. Well, I don't know if I can do that, really.
Yeah.
Can I do that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's possible for me to do it, but let's see. So something like this. Okay, let's see here. So we have the silly kick here. Let's see if we can do something else.
Yeah.
Let's put a probability on this trig. Like once every third.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Let's try and make something else. So we are, if you're new here, the challenge is to do something with one sample. The challenge here is to do, try and use one yeah sample and do something. I'm not sure if it'll turn out nicely, but let's see.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And if you're wondering, the yeah sample, it's me. So let's see here. Let's put on some reverb. We need a big reverb, don't we, guys? A big reverb on the yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't we do like a reversed reverb?
Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. What else can we do with this? Let's see here. We have the yeah sample.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops! I made it on the wrong. I actually made it on the wrong pattern. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I wanted to try and make some kind of clap sound. I'm not sure if I can do that, but
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey.
okay, right. So so we are making a song here out of a yeah sample, a totally unironic yeah sample.
Yeah.
And the challenge was from Linus, and I threw in Sleepy Dog. And if you're wondering if there's noise in the background, I have a big ass lawnmower going at it outside my window. So, oh, Jesus Christ. All right, so let's see here. Let's see, what kind of questions do we have? So Cygnus Video asks, how do you save kits on the Digitakt, or does it not use kits? It uses kits, but not in the same way as, or well, it's kind of hard to describe really, but you don't really use kits in the same sense. You don't really have a, well, you can save a kit. For example, I could save this kit here. You could save whole pattern, kit data, sequence data. So I can save kits, but you don't really use it in the same sense that as you do on other Elektron gear, because it's more based around patterns. Before, patterns were like, how do you say it? Patterns were beneath kits, but now patterns are actually like the top level, because when you change to a new pattern, there will be an automatic assign of a kit to it. So I think you can more view it as a shift of what is supposed to be on top. Linus says that I should release a sample pack of me saying yeah, baby. So let's see here. So Linus asks, does the DT have a bit crusher? I should put it on the kick to give it more of a transient maybe. So yeah, I can see here. That seems to increasing the bit reduction. It's not a bit crusher really. It doesn't really seem to add much transient to it. Okay, so here we are. This is my yeah beat.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay, let's see if I can make some kind of some decent sounding synth sound using the yeah sample. And be sure to leave comments in the comments in the chat. I'll just work a little bit longer on this.
Yeah.
I think we need to shorten it a little bit. That's right. We only have one bar here, or sorry, one 16 steps. Let's see here. Sorry. Something like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey.
See if we can apply some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here goes into craziness territory.
Hey. Hey. Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is I'm affecting the sample length with the LFO.
Hey. Hey.
Doesn't sound
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Yeah.
And if somebody's new here to this little live stream, we are doing a song with the yeah sample, super unironically. Let's see here. Let's try and use frequency.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey.
Okay, so I'm not sure what this if this will really get any better. But as you can see, it's it's a lot of fun. You can just take a yeah sample
Yeah.
and do something crazy with it. So let's see if we have any other questions here. Linus says, Bo, the master of disaster, and Bo, the dealer of sounds, Bo, the sickest, illest, trillest man on the internet ever, Bo, the craziest scientist. I'm not sure about that. The crazy part, maybe. Eman asks, can you do stuff like stutter effects on the yeah by parameter locking the sample start on the yeah, maybe? Yeah, I could probably do something like that. Let's see if I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to see if I can do it with start and LFO.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops, the wrong here. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So you can, of course,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can definitely do let's see, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can, as you can hear, it's very easy to create some kind of stutter-like effect using parameter locking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not sure if it sounds any good, but you get the idea.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And there's something that is not quite right. I think the snare is a little off. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just check the.
Hey. Yeah. 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 Hey. Hey. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. And we could probably do some. Let's do some tuning here as well. How does this sound?
Yeah. 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 Hey. Hey. Yeah. 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 Hey. Hey. Yeah.
Let's see here. So what I'm basically doing is trying to do a little of a stutter effect, you know, just for fun, and we'll try and add, trying to add some trigs here as well, some conditions to these so they don't trigger every single time. So 1 in 2, so every other time the pattern plays, these should be triggered. And also added a little one over here with a lot of retrig. So basically, if you put 2 trigs between each other, beside each other like this, and you change the second one, the timing, to as close to this one as well, it basically is the same step. So that way, with different trig conditions, you can create variations using almost the same step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my phone was ringing. Let's turn that off. Okay, so so let's summarize. We have my yeah sample, and this was the beat I made with only yeah samples.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it sounds any good, but you guys can be the judge of that. So let's see here. What other questions do we have? Joey says that he just noticed that I changed from the right angle jacks to straight angle jacks. Well, the right angle jacks are coming back, Joey. Don't worry, I got them. I got them for you. Let's see here. Yeah, we need some hats to this beat as well. JJS says that Art of Noise was sure in love with some early samplers like the Emulator and Fairlight, and that I am that I'm getting into that territory. Yeah, I think the more I use samples, the more crazy it tends to get. Clonehead says shout out from Ireland. Thank you so much. Shout outs right back to you from Sweden. Let's see here. Linus says that he's watching the stream together with his best friend Felix, and he says that Pete is giving him a boner. Linus. I think we've had our fair share of sex jokes this stream. So does the parameter, Joey asks, does the parameter lock affect the tail of samples? Say, for example, your yeah sample. Can you pitch the tail, or how does that behave? You could pitch the tail in different ways with the LFO, I think. But yeah, you can, of course, you could use a sample, like have one part playing the start of the sample and one trigger playing the end, and then pitch just the end. But there's really no way with parameter locks to create like a curve with one parameter lock. Then you'll have to have several parameter locks. I think let's see if we can. I think I understand the question. Let's go into a new pattern here. Let's put down my yeah sample here, and let's see if we can do something similar to what you are asking about, Joey. So I have a yeah sample here.
Yeah.
And let's say I want the tail of this sample to be pitched down. So not the start, but the tail. Let's press function and add. These yellow ones here are note. They won't trigger a note. They are just triggers for changes. So let's change the tuning here. For every. Let's do it pretty deep. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you heard. We have one trigger here with normal tuning, and then we have the triggerless trigs here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that creates a curve. Not sure how smooth it can be, but yeah.
Yeah.
And you could of course use the re-triggers as well, I suppose. If we use the re-triggers, sorry, not re-triggers, I will say it wrong. The timing here. Let's shift the timing so it gets tighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that it should be possible. So let's see here. So let's see here. Joey O'Hagan says the bow streams always seem to attract a few fellow Irish folk. Yeah, it could be that I've been to Ireland. I've been there once. It was to not to Northern Ireland, but to Southern Ireland. I went to where did I go? To Connemara. I'm not sure how to say it. On Ireland, where those special horses are from. And I traveled with car across the country as well. It was very, very beautiful, but your roads are terrible. I was driving up this mountain cliff, and it was like a high. It was like, the speed limits were absurd. There was no rails, and people came with their trucks. Like I was imagining that they were like goat farmers or something coming with their trucks, and it was, I was scared for my life, because I realized, one wrong turn here and it's just bye-bye. There's no saving. It's just like a steep cliff, you go bye-bye. So the roads were horrible at some points, and the speed limits were crazy. So, So yeah, that was my trip to Ireland. But it was really nice. The stereotypes held true. There was a lot of drinking, and when I went to this like really small town, a lot smaller than most towns I've been to in Sweden or lived in Sweden, like a really, really small town. And I asked like, so when does the pub open? And he responded, which one? I thought it was brilliant. I was like, you have more than one? Yes. I won't try and trying to do his accent. I'll probably end up in like Scottish territory. But it's like, yeah, only one. Yeah, of course we have more than one. I can't do it. I kind of forgot how it sounds like, but yeah. Okay, so where are we at? We did a little jam here with my sample. Got a few nice donations from Linus and Sleepy Dog. Very nice. The first 2 donations I've received on YouTube. Very, very cool. And we've been talking a little bit about sex and a little bit about Ireland, not in any particular order. So that's fun. I've been to France, to Spain, to Ireland, England, the Scandinavian countries, of course. Did I say Germany? Yeah, of course, Germany. My grandmother was from Germany, so I've been there quite a lot. I think I've been to parts of Austria as well as Italy and the US. I went to Boston and New York when I was in the US for a couple of weeks. So it's really nice. I haven't traveled a lot in the last couple of years, but it's something I definitely want to do. So that's nice. So Urban Film Fan asks, is Ireland in America? Well, everything is in America. Everything is in America. Didn't you know that? Everything. Every single country. So Hiroko Yamamura asks, can you record chords now with update from the external keyboard? Yeah, you can record the chords now from an external keyboard. I don't have a keyboard laying around here that I can just plug in and show you, but it's possible. And it does seems like a lot of the bugs have been fixed. So far no problems with crashes or anything. Hiroko asks, have you tried recording ARP from Keystep into the Digitakt? Yeah, I've recorded it. I did it even before this patch, and I think it works pretty nice. It's not perfect, and when you record ARP from the Keystep, usually I use the Keystep as master, and the Keystep is a little bit. I have the Keystep here, but I don't have the power to it. I don't have any USB power where I'm sitting. But the Keystep's rate or BPM knob here is a little bit fiddly to get a good BPM going on the Digitakt. It doesn't have anything to do with the Digitakt. It's just that the Keystep is a little bit fiddly. Okay, so people are asking if I can connect the Keystep and do something with it. I think I could. Let's hope I don't crash the Digitakt. But let's see. I can see if I have the cables here somewhere. So we have the power cord here. Let's see if I can do this. I told myself I wouldn't be doing it because it's always hard to set things up live on stream. But what the hell? Why not? So I think I'll remove the microphone. Sorry for the noise, just moving things about. And we have the Keystep here, and let's see if I can fit everything nicely on the screen here. So let's see here. I'm just going to plug this into my computer, the Keystep with the USB power. I don't have any USB power hub at the moment. Let's hope I don't break anything now. It turns on. Let me just grab I'm just going to grab a MIDI cable. I have one here. Alright, so I have my MIDI cable. Joey asks, does the Digitakt support MIDI over the USB port? Surely it would power the Keystep over USB MIDI. I haven't tried, really. I just haven't tried, and I don't have that kind of MIDI cable that works for setting up the Keystep. To the Digitakt. I don't have that kind of MIDI cable that fits, and I'm not sure. I don't think it'll work, but maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything that suggests that it would. Okay, so we have it. Okay, so we have power. So let's see if we can. Now there will be some changing about here with the camera. So let's see if I can fit everything with the camera here. Something like this maybe. So it's kind of hard to get it nicely aligned, but I think you can see it pretty well. Yeah, so I'm playing the Digitakt from the Keystep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. So let's see here what we got. So we have our little Digitakt here connected to the Keystep, and let's see if I can just make it look a little bit better. Something like this will work, I think. And we can go to a new pattern here, and we can the first thing you want to check is, so you want to check MIDI config and channels, and then you have auto channels. Auto channel is 14, so let's go to 14 here. Or sorry, we don't need to do that. We can just, auto channel is for when you select like different, you want to play different channels. So let's just go to channel 1 here and channel 1 here. So we're playing it. So let's load some sound here, and let's see if we can crash the device as well. Oh, sorry. I think this lead sound will work. Okay, so now we have changed the BPM here. We have the Keystep working here as master, and we can, we could try and do some kind of arpeggio. So as you can hear, very interesting. Very interesting to use the Keystep with Digitakt like this. You really get like a performance synthesizer, and I will do a video on this a little bit more in depth. As you can see, using the LFO here also adds a lot of character. Okay, so should I? We can probably try and record the arc here. Let's see here. Let's see if it stuck. Did it stick? Yeah, we have notes here, but I'm not sure. Shouldn't it be playing? I'm not sure why it's not playing. I did get notes into it. Oh wait. Oh, no. Why did I? Yeah. So there we go. Arc recorded from the Keystep into the Digitakt. One thing I like to do with the hi-hats is to put a re-trigger, something like this. And we can see, and we can just grab a, see if we can grab a bass and do something on top of this. Bass multis. Oh, didn't I load it? Wait. Oh. Yeah, so this was using the Keystep, getting some arpeggios into the Digitakt, and just adding some stuff on top of it. Guys, I know what we need. I know what we need for this. You know, guys, it's apparent what we need. I know exactly what we need to make this track shine.
Yeah.
There we go. But I just did it on the wrong goddamn goddamn track. Damn it. Element of surprise denied. Let's see here. So what do you think, guys? I also added some panning to the hi-hats, and let's see if we can do a reversed yeah on the end here. Let's do a reversed yeah. We could probably do a reversed yeah with a different let's try and do something here. Something like this. I'm not sure if it'll sound good, but okay. So it's just something on the fly for you guys, having some fun. So let's see here. So did we have any other questions while I was jamming away here? Let's see here. Linus says, Bo, you are a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard. I'm not sure, but I can whip up some strange stuff on the fly. I've tried, I've dabbled with a lot of different genres over the course of my life. So, I'm definitely no master at every genre. Definitely far from it. I think I still try to focus on finding, a sound that I enjoy. Hello, Shannon. Good seeing you. I didn't say hello to you. J50 NMRP. Good seeing you here. Urban Film Fan. Good seeing you here. So let's see here. Linus says this is like a tech support chat. Yeah, I think this is definitely like a tech support chat at some points. But yeah, we'll have to live with that. So Joey Hagen asks, can each audio track 1 to 8 be addressed on separate channels? Yeah, you address them on, they are set up to be addressed on separate channels. As you can see now, for example, on channel number 1 here, I have this sound, snare, kick.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're new here, the yeah sample was part of a previous challenge where I made a little groove here with just the yeah sample. We can probably listen to it later. And as you can see, even if I'm on channel 7 here, since the keyboard here is set to middle channel 1, it only activates MIDI channel 1. That means, of course, you can have different channels playing. Let's see here if I can show you this. did that was I played a arpeggio from the Keystep into the Digitakt, activating channel 1, but I could also play the other channels at the same time. So if you have like a setup where you could use, I guess you could probably use different MIDI inputs, like 2 different keyboards inputting MIDI and playing different channels on the Digitakt. Now if it will crash from it or not, I don't know, I haven't tried, so be gentle. Joey asks, could you run a MIDI out from the Digitakt into the MIDI in of the Keystep just to send clock so you could sync the ARP? I have not been able to make this work, but I haven't tried that hard. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. I think I don't understand how to use the Keystep's clock, the clock settings on the Keystep correctly. There's something I'm doing wrong with the Keystep. But yes, in theory, you should definitely be able to send clock from the Digitakt into the Keystep and then back into and then in order to get the tempo sync from the Keystep from the Digitakt into the Keystep. In theory, that should be doable. Hank Major says, I was away. I see you have a Keystep. Nice. Yeah, I really enjoy the Keystep. I think it's a brilliant little device. It's one of the best from Arturia, I think. It's very brilliant. There's not much out there that can compete with it. Sorry, might have missed it. Can you record chords now with 1.02? Fusion asks. Yes, you should be able to do that. Let me go to a new pattern here and let me put it to let's say shift and channel 14. Yeah, so now it's receiving MIDI. So let's see if we can do this and do it without. Yeah, channel. We're on pattern 13, and I don't have any MIDI outboard connected at the moment, so we won't get any sound. But I can just. So let's see here. Yes. So what I did here was I just recorded MIDI, and as you can see, I got 2. Because I didn't press them exactly at the same time, I got 2 notes. But the first note here, if I press it, is an F minor. Is it? Yeah, I'm not good with the different notes. And you can see, you probably can't see, but I can see here that yes, it recorded the second note that I pressed, which was is an A. Yeah, probably an A. I can see that over here. And then on this note, it's just 1 note. So yes, you can record the chords now via MIDI. Urban Fan Film says, I've posted recordings to Insta and Facebook to get more people here. Thank you, Urban. Really, really nice of you to get more people here. We'll be doing this live stream for about say max 40 minutes more. So be sure to leave questions if you have any. So what have we been doing? Let's summarize what we've been doing. We've been listening to some beats that I made on the Digitakt. We have been receiving generous donations from Linus and Sleepy Dog. Very grateful. The first 2 donations I've ever received here on YouTube. Very cool. I didn't really know how that worked. I think it's called Super Chat. But it's very helpful to me, of course. And we have been messing with some yeah samples. I don't think this will sound. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. And if you're wondering what that craziness was, it was basically just a yeah sample. I made a kick out of it. Some kind of small synth sound. This is supposed to be some kind of tonal. I don't know what it is supposed to be. And a bass lead. Yeah. Yeah. Should we try and do some kind of hi-hat as well? Somebody said it earlier. We should have a hi-hat. So let's pick the yeah. Let's see if we can take some part of this. And let's add some LFO to the panning. And let's just... yeah. Yeah. So there we go. Masterpiece with the totally unironical yeah. And if you're new here to the live stream, this is a live stream about the Elektron Digitakt. My live streams are often based around 1 or 2 pieces of gear. I'll probably try and do more live streams with my entire setup once I get it more set up, basically. If you're new to my channel is Bobeats, and it's about music production, synthesizers, reviews, tutorials, and a bit of cringe humor, and teaching you guys something and hopefully inspiring. That's pretty much it. Joe says I'll try to set you up and get Bo on the side of a bus going around Belfast. I know a guy, he'll sort you out, Bo. Yeah, plaster my face on the side of a bus. Fusion says, I have to go, bye for now. Thank you so much, Fusion, for sticking around for more than an hour. Really nice having you here on this live stream. Thank you so much. And Joe, maybe we should think twice about putting my face on a bus going through England. I don't want to make you English or Irish people feel jealous of our our Swedish good looks. So no, I don't want to make anybody upset. Synthesizer, sex icon, and everything. Sleepy Dog says that he doesn't think his donation was that generous. Well, I'm just very thankful anyway for the donation. It's very cool. You're the first one, and it's always hard to talk about money and talk about donations and so on. Talking about it and being grateful about it in a way. I don't want to come off as disingenuous or anything. So I just want to say thank you. I know people come from very different economical backgrounds and have very different ways of being able to support us that do online content, and there's so many to support. So I'm very aware that any support coming my way is special to me. That's just it. I talked about this before also, because it's very interesting that I have a job as a teacher, so I have a lot of people listening to me. I do lectures for a lot of people on various topics, but there's a big difference between holding lectures, even though people listen to me attentively and they are there to listen to my point of view on things, basically. At the same time, they are there because they want an education. They are there because they are more or less forced to be there. I mean, some of them might choose to be there if they weren't forced, but a majority wouldn't be there. And that's a big difference when you do live streams and when you do YouTube content and so on. Nobody's forced to click your video. Sometimes people even, people might even drop a comment saying something like, why do I have to watch this? Oh, it's boring, blah, blah. And then it's just, find the stop button, go and do something else. Nobody's forcing you. It's not like there's any penalty to not being here. And that's why I think it's very humbling to see people choosing to be here. So that's just, my take on it. So let's see here. I think we have answered a lot of questions. Linus did another €2 donation. Bo, hire me as marketing person. Yes, Linus. If you promise to tone down the sex jokes, perhaps. I'm just kidding. It's all good. Sleepy Dog asks, what kind of teacher, what subjects? I'm a university teacher in educational psychology, Sleepy Dog, and also a licensed psychotherapist. So I teach mostly teachers and teachers who are already done with their education. So I do like teacher supervision and so on, and I teach leadership and communication and those kinds of subjects. Frank Wilson says, I missed the keyboard part. Just a quick question. If I record arpeggios from external keyboard, do they record on MIDI channels in Digitakt? If you use an external MIDI, there's two ways. Either you set it up. Let me show you here. Let's go to the pattern I was... Yeah. This was the pattern. This is the pattern I was working on. If I shift this to MIDI channel 1, you can hear the strange noises going on. That's played from an audio channel, and you can record into the audio channel with the keyboard, like into the sequencer. But you can also set this to shift 14, which is my auto channel. You can set it to whatever channel, and then let's go to a MIDI channel, and there's no sound because I don't have any source set up. But if you play it now, you'll see that only MIDI channel 9 will light up. If I go to 10, 10 will light up. If I go to 11, 11 will light up. So basically switching to a channel. And this goes for the audio channels as well. And if you record into the MIDI channels, it's MIDI notes on the MIDI channels. I don't know really what you call it on the audio channels, but it triggers the sound on the audio channels. So that's cool. So WDWRM asks, hi Bo, some time ago I bought the machine drum UV to make beats alongside my trusty A4. No matter how hard I try, we just don't get along. Would you say it's easier to program beats on the Digitakt? I think, I don't have any experience with the machine drum UV, but from what I've heard people talk about, the Digitakt is the most simple of Elektron products, really, when it comes to workflow. It's just different in the sense that it's more accessible. And I think it's very easy to program beats on. But of course, if you don't really, if you don't gel with the machine drum, you can't really, make good beats on it. Perhaps it's something with the workflow that doesn't just, it doesn't suit the way you want to make the beats or the drums. So that's something to think about. If there's, if you're better off with a drum brute or something else, so if there's something with the workflow of the Elektron products that doesn't suit the way you make drums, maybe you should consider another product. Thornquist says that my kettle is just boiling. Do you want a coffee, Bo? Yeah, coffee would be really good right now. Coffee would be really good. So definitely, I would love one. You're sending one over? And Joe says he'll have some tea. Now, Joe, don't go and be all great British on us, Don't live up to the stereotypes. Linus asks, do I like cats? Yeah, I like cats. Cats are amazing. But I'm allergic. Really allergic. I get incredibly sick if I spend too much time with cats and dogs and horses and, all kind of hairy beasts. Hank Major asks, would you consider using Digitakt alongside another drum machine, for example a PO32, or do you think it would be overkill? Yeah, in most setups I think that more than one drum machine is overkill. I mean, of course, okay, so let's get it out of the way. If you have the money, if you want more than one drum machine, there's nothing wrong with it. I have more. I have 3-4 drum machines. I don't see any problem with having more than one. But of course, if you're like most people and you want to be economic about your decisions and you can't buy everything, you really have to think about what has value to you, what is useful to you. And in most cases, having more than one drum machine won't make a lot of sense. So I think that I do think like a pocket operator is not really it's a drum machine. It's very capable, but it's not that expensive, and it's not like investing in a drum brute or an analog rhythm or a tempest. So I think I'm having a lot of fun sampling my pocket operator into the Digitakt. And that's also one way to think about it. You could think about it like this, and I'll probably show this in another video sometime, using the Digitakt with the drum brute, for example, using the 8 channels on the Digitakt for sounds rather than drums. So for example, lead sounds and effects and so on, and then using the drum brute beside it, just for drums. And that's one way to use the Digitakt. So of course you're not limited to viewing the Digitakt as a drum machine. I don't view it as a drum machine. For me, it's definitely something more. It's more like a groove box, or it's more like an old school sampler. Linus sends a digital cup of coffee. Thank you, Linus. Definitely. Super nice. Nuit Blanche Musique asks, hi, could the Digitakt be the center of my live setup? I mean, can I sequence other external hardware? Yes, you can. If you go to my channel, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe, please. And you can also check out my MIDI tutorial, and you can see that I have the Digitakt sequencing a lot of external gear. And I will do more video. I know a lot of you have been asking for videos on the MIDI sequencing, and once I just it's insanely not dirty is the wrong word, it's just crowded in here in studio at the moment, because I'm waiting for a shipment of patch, bass and cables and so on, and I want to redo a lot of things in the studio, make it more accessible and make the workflow easier. So when that's done, I'll have a lot easier time interconnecting things, because now it's just a mess. But once that's done, I will do a lot more MIDI work with the Digitakt, because I think it's a pretty brilliant little hub. It has a very small form factor, and of course you could use the Octatrack as a hub as well. But I do think that using the Octatrack, if you're mainly after something like a brain of the setup, something that you can use to connect your other gear to, I think it's a little bit overkill. And I think this has a smaller footprint, both in size and in what it costs, and it does have a little bit more powerful sequencer as well. The MIDI sequencer is a little bit more powerful. Linus, you always ask the best question, Linus. The best questions. Guys, believe me, the best questions. Awesome. Totally awesome. That was my Trump impersonation. Totally. Linus asks, do you have a fidget spinner? No, I don't have a fidget spinner. I want a fidget spinner. I want to do some kind of video on it, but it's cheesy, and this is something that is a hype that is dying down. But you should go and watch Look Mom No Computer and his videos on the fidget spinner as musical tools. So Look Mom No Computer is the YouTube channel with a really great guy. He does some really amazing things. It's very different from what I'm doing, but you should really check him out. High production value and a lot of creative things going on his channel, and he's done some fun things with the fidget spinners as well. So Joe got another challenge for me. Make a coffee beat. Record the process of making the coffee and sample bits from it to make a beat. Yeah, people have suggested this before, and I think I'll definitely do it. Definitely. So let's see here. Angelo Forte asks, hi Bo, can I sync a Roland SPD SX with the DT and NA4? Well, I don't really know. I'm not sure what an SPDSX is really. Perhaps somebody in the chat can answer you if it's possible to sync. If it has MIDI, I'm just going to Google this, because I'm not really sure what this SPD is. Okay, so it's like a sampling pad. Okay. Let me just see what kind of specs it got. I'm not familiar with it. So let's see here. Specifications. Let me just check it. Yeah, it got MIDI in and out. So since it got MIDI in and out, I'm certain you could use this SPDX with Digitakt. I can't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to. So hopefully that is correct. Linus says that Andrew Huang already did the coffee beat thing. Now, what haven't Andrew Huang done? I mean, he's a really interesting guy. He does some really interesting videos. He's actually a huge inspiration for me. We're very different people, him and I. Very different personalities, very different styles. But I do think I can learn from him, definitely. He's really interesting. Green Helix asks, would you use this unit live? Fact Magazine said something about it not being good for it. And you also add that it sounds ridiculous that it shouldn't be good for live. I can't really see why it wouldn't be good. I know that there's a pretty known Swedish guy over on the Digitakt group on Facebook. I won't mention his name because I'm not sure if he's public or not, with who he is and what the music he's making. I'm not sure, but the art, I think he goes under the artist name Tilliander in Sweden, and he's pretty big in an electro music scene. And I saw some images he posted where he wanted to use the Digitakt Live. So I mean, if he's doing it, I can't see any reason why you wouldn't. Of course, the hands-on control, there aren't any like performance controls really. You can just change the settings live. That's basically it. And it doesn't have a song mode, so of course there are limitations to it. But yeah, I think it works really nice. Okay, so we have a tech question here. George Joanne Freeman says, Funk Sound browser issue, no samples on plus drive. Okay, this is a common problem people have. So let's go to a blank pattern. We are in a blank pattern here, and if we press function and the level data knob, you go into the plus drive. And you probably can see here that I have a long list here of sounds. Let me phrase this very properly. Sounds is an Elektron term for a sample plus a setting. The settings for that sound. But the Digitakt does not come with any preloaded sounds. It comes with samples. Now samples are stored, if we go here into the settings menu, under the samples tab. And if you go here, let me just go back so I can say this correctly. You will see a menu with the different folders, and you should have one named factory. You press it and then you have the samples. And when you've tweaked a sample to your liking, you can go to the import export here, these three dots here, and you can go to the import export menu, and then you can export sound, and then you pick a slot. So I can pick A026 here, and then I can save the sound and name it. That saves the settings and a reference to the sample. So do not remove the sample, because if you remove the sample, you will destroy the sound. So this is just the Elektron way of thinking, which makes it a little bit hard. So everything, when you record a sample, everything goes under the sample menu, and it goes into the recorded folder when you record. For example, I recorded this is a loop I recorded, and drums here from the Pocket Operator. It goes into the samples folder, and then you use those loops in order to create sounds, or those sounds and those samples in order to create the sounds on the Digitakt, and you can save them. So I've saved a bunch of sounds on the Digitakt. We can just have a listen. So this is one sound. yeah, so as you can see, those are settings plus the sample. That's basically it. So let's see here. Linus says, damn it, his friend Felix just found his weed. Damn it, Linus. Damn it. I hate when that happens. No, just to be clear, I don't do any drugs ever. Never tried. Never wanted to try. I'm just not interested. Fun fact. Let's see here. So that basically covers the sound thing, and that's just one thing. This is, a little bit special with the Elektron way of being Elektron. So let's see here. Shannon asks, hey Bo, are you going to use the circuit with the DT, with the Digitakt? Yeah, definitely. I've used it in one song that is on my YouTube page. I used the circuit for drums, I think, for some polyrhythmic drums, and for bass line. And I can definitely see myself using the Digitakt and using the circuits in tandem, because they all have this kind of hands-on workflow that works really nicely. So yeah. So JJS says that I think Fact magazine focused on the fact that the DT don't have a song mode, and I think that's why they said it's probably not good for live situations. Yeah, so I think that is correct, JJS. I think Fact focused on that, Fact magazine, and I think the lack of song mode does make it less ideal as being used for a live situation. Definitely, a song mode can be really good for live situations, but I think there's, it depends on what kind of music you're making. The circuit, for example, doesn't have a song mode. The circuit doesn't even let you chain sessions, so I mean that's even more limited, but I still see a lot of people using it live. So let's see here. When you set the auto channel, are the lowest notes always used to trigger the audio tracks? Walton asks. Let's see here. So let's go to auto channel, shift 14. Okay, so we are triggering channel number 5 here. Let's try and go down a couple of octaves. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, when I went down, I don't know how many octaves, we actually get the audio channels, even if we are on auto channel. So that answers the question. It's so low down on the octave range that it shouldn't really matter too much, hopefully. I'm not sure if you can turn that off somehow. Cannonball asks, can I have an external piece of gear running through the audio in while the Digitakt is playing? Yes. If you have an external piece of gear connected to the inputs, you can monitor those inputs and have the sound coming through the Digitakt, but you can't affect it with effects or filters and so on. Linus asks, could you get a mustache? I already have a mustache. Let's see here. Arne asks, can you put one of the classic Elektron machines under the Digitakt to show us the difference in size? Probably not now. I have everything connected up here, and I think that'll be a little bit cumbersome to actually do that at the moment. Or maybe I can do something like this. Okay, Arne wants to see sort of the size difference between the Digitakt and a more traditional piece of gear. So here I have the Rytm, it's standing just over here. So here you can see, just to give you an idea, I'm just going to remove the cover of the Digitakt here as well. So this is probably the best I can do at the moment. Here you can see that there's a noticeable size difference, but the height of the units are very, they're almost identical in height. But as you can see, the length, and if I can hold it up a little bit here, but it probably won't do it justice. So you get an idea of the size difference. So it's definitely tiny compared to those products. Sorry for all the noise. I'm putting on the on the hard plastic cover on the Rytm here. It's just collecting dust at the moment because I'm very focused on the Digitakt. So let's see here. Yeah, Arne, it's a little bit over half the size. Yeah. Cannonball asks, how many octaves can the Digitakt pitch down up your samples? So if we have this sound here, you can go plus 12 from like the onset. You can go another plus 12 notes, I guess, and then you can go minus 24. I'm not really sure exactly how, if that answers the question. This is the lowest, highest. So I'm not really sure. And the root note here is C3, PO. So yeah. Powernoid says, how about a banana for scale? Well, a banana has different sizes, It comes in all shapes and sizes, those bananas. So probably not a very reliable measurement of size, really. You should not compare with a banana, guys. You should not compare with a banana. Thornquest, great having you. Great having you here. Laters. Mr. Vonix asks, where are the MIDI track settings saved? They are saved in the pattern. So in a pattern, if I change to another pattern, the MIDI settings will reset. So basically I have to copy it over. And if you want to have like a template, you basically have to make a project with the settings you want on a couple of patterns. You could probably just copy over like a whole bank filled with patterns with the same settings, and then save it as a project, and then just duplicate that project as, using it as a template. There's no template function built in. Audio Soul asks, so the 33-second record time, is that the maximum per sample, pad, or per pattern? The 33 seconds is just a record buffer. So you can record 33 seconds of something that long a sample, and then you have to save it to the plus drive. And then when you load it into the Digitakt, it loads into the RAM, the 64 megabytes per project. So basically having those 33 seconds are just for recording samples. So if you have like a long sample and you want to cut stuff out of it, you can do a long sample, cut stuff out, save those as individual samples, and then load them back into the memory, the RAM. Cannibal asks, can you send LFOs to different audio tracks? No, each audio track has one LFO. There are tricks where you can use the MIDI tracks LFO to affect the audio tracks, but that's too complicated to explain right now. The destinations for the audio tracks are not very limited. Those are very nice. There's a ton of different options here for destinations for the LFO. But yes, the MIDI track destinations are very simple, and depends largely on what kind of CC values you can set up that affects your external synth or whatever. But I don't think it's very limited. I think it is what it is. It works really nicely, and I think you can't really come to expect a lot more. Shannon asks, how large is the plus drive? It's 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte large. So guys, really nice having a lot of people here. I think we've had a lot of people here today watching. If you're new to my channel, my name is Bo. I run the channel Bobeats. It's about synthesizers, samplers, drum machines, groove boxes, and other kinds of, electronic musical equipment. I do videos where I show my music. I do tutorials, reviews, and other things as well. I also talk a bit about creativity, about psychology, since I'm a university teacher in that subject. And I also, talk a little bit about life and those kind of, related topics related to music. So if you want to subscribe, that's super cool. Hopefully you'll like my content. If you want to support me even further, it's always good to check out Patreon, patreon.com/Bobeats. It's, one place you can support me if you like what I'm doing and want to, add a little bit of help to keep this project going. So I think I'll try and, we've been going for 2 hours, and I think that's definitely a decent amount of time. So if you're new here, let me see if I can play you something, what we've been doing. So we have been experimenting with different things. We made this little beat here. This is just a beat I made to show you that I could record a keystep sequence, the arpeggio into the audio channel. So it's playing on channel 1 here. The notes are recorded into and playing back a sample here. And then there's the vocal sample, and the vocal sample was a Linus Minus challenge to me to make something out of a vocal sample. And we can take a listen at what we did with that as well. It's this vocal sample here.
Yeah.
The yeah sample, and it sounds like this.
Yeah.
So every sound here is based on the vocal sample, and just cut stuff out really quickly. You could probably do this a lot better.
Yeah.
So guys, I am coming to an end here with this live stream. I want to show you some more stuff as well. I want to play you a little. Let's see here if I can. Wait, what am I doing here? I'm going to play you a little bit of a tune that I started the live stream with, something quite epic. And perhaps answer some more questions as well. So we are saving the Sleepy Linus project for later. We're now in a different project here. And I'm just going to disconnect the keystep here, so nothing out of the ordinary happens. Let me just see, I've got everything set up here. And let's see here, let's go into, I think this is the, yeah. Here we go. So guys, it's been a pleasure having you. I'm getting a little bit tired. I've been streaming for 2 hours. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, that's super helpful. Check out patreon.com/Bobeats. And I just want to thank you, Sleepy Dog and Linus, for the generous donations as well. And I'm just going to play you a really cool tune that I made on the Digitakt, and then I'll call it quits. So here is a little tune I've been working on the Digitakt. that was my little jam for this live stream. I've also showcased some other stuff that I've been working on, and I made some live jams as well, live songs here with you guys, with some challenges from you, the viewers, and just showing you how to do a couple of different techniques and things. So guys, I've been doing this for 2 hours now, and I need to call it a quits. But thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for being here. I hope to do more live streams. This is a good hour for me, about 10 in the morning Swedish time, so it's Central European Standard Time, I think. So it's a pretty good time for me, and I hope you guys can come and join me some other day. I'll try to post sort of reminders or sort of teasers for when the live stream is going on, but sometimes I just want to do it on the fly when I have something that I think I can show you guys. So thank you so much for being here. A lot of you have been here for a long time. I'm very grateful, and be sure to check out my YouTube if you're new, and stay awesome, have fun creating, and connect with me on Facebook if there's any questions. I have a Bobeats page there as well. You can also check me out on Instagram /Bobeats and Twitter @Bobeats Music. So that's also very cool. So good seeing you guys. Good seeing you, Andrew Layden, Paranoid, J50, Audio Soul, Linus, Crackapow, and so on. So good seeing you. So I'm going to go now. So bye bye.